Idaho guns. Apparently the 49th worst state when it comes to gun laws. Let's see what the people with guns are like here, why Idaho gun laws allow them to be that way, and what you can expect with gun laws here that make Idaho the 49th worst state. Guns in Idaho are definitely a big deal. Around 60% of people here own them, and most of those people probably have a few more than just one. You have unique concealed carry laws and a number of rules and cultural beliefs here that make it easier to practice your Second Amendment rights, and a pretty high gun death rate. But will these be something to worry about for those of you who are opposed to guns, or for those of you looking for more Second Amendment friendly living? Is Idaho safe and free enough for you? You'll be able to decide that by the end of this. Now, when you talk with the people who live here, they definitely want to keep Idaho the way it is when it comes to guns and their laws. Some might even want it to be less regulated and have more of those freedoms. You have hunting of all kinds, so people will and are allowed to carry a shotgun or two in their passenger seat so that on their way home from work, they can stop at the Boise River and Star or Lake Lowell and Nampa and get a quick hunt in. There are times where I have woken up to gunshots in the morning. It isn't rare for people to hunt geese and duck right on the city limit lines in town, just a few hundred feet from some of the neighborhoods or your house. There are gun collectors here, clubs, and people who just enjoy going to the shooting ranges or to the BLM land here to shoot targets and just enjoy shooting with friends and family. But these are all of the more basic fundamental rights and things that people here have and want to do, and it shows with the nearly 40 registered gun owners per 1,000 people and the 110,000 firearms sold in 2023, which does not include all of the people who are unregistered gun and firearm owners, because it is not required to be registered here to own a firearm, which is one of the first unique rules, but that's a smaller worry than what some say makes Idaho one of the worst in the country. One of those is the concealed carry rules here, which I know matters to a lot of you. Idaho is a constitutional carry state, although it didn't used to be that way, which means you no longer need a concealed carry permit to carry a firearm here. I know some of you moving here from other states have laws in place that don't allow for that, and a number of other gun laws that really make it difficult to even own a firearm at all, which is in our Constitution and the basis for our country, hence why it is called the constitutional carry law, and is built into the freedoms we should have and definitely have here in Idaho. I know for me, it's important living here and being able to have that in my car, hip, or home, and know that I can protect my wife and family or be able to provide food when it comes time in the fall when it's hunting season. I have people reach out who feel the same way, and that is a big draw for them or you moving to Idaho, which if you are considering that move here, I am a lifelong Idaho local and a real estate agent, so shoot me a text or a call anytime. Me and my team have people reach out all of the time, and we love helping people like you relocate to the Boise area, where you have those freedoms along with being able to purchase a firearm or ammunition fairly easily. You do not need a permit here, and really you can walk into a gun shop here and walk out with a gun in under 30 minutes. The only rules are that you need your ID and to pass the instant background check, which does not take long. It's a really quick process. If you're a felon, you can't purchase a firearm here, and if you're not 21, you have to be 21 to purchase a handgun. But other than that, it really is that simple. And I know other states, even next to Idaho and Oregon, it can take a lot longer where you have waiting periods and it can take a while to purchase that firearm. The only real loophole is that at some of the gun shows here, there is some ways to purchase guns that you can get around some of these that can allow for people to purchase those firearms without some of that instant background check, which may be something that is a problem here and may be part of the reason why Idaho is ranked as one of those top states for the worst gun laws in the country. But the biggest part of that really, I think, is the gun death rate and the violence statistics around firearms here in Idaho. That is a big part of why people or some of these organizations say Idaho is not safe when it comes to gun laws. Idaho has a gun death rate ranked 16th in the country, and it appears to be one of the worst. But gun death rate includes suicide, and Idaho has an 87% rate of those gun deaths as suicide. There was only 18 homicides in 2019, so a very small portion of gun deaths are by firearm. Most of that is suicides. And if you look at the homicide rate, including everything, in Idaho, it's the second lowest in the entire country. So the data there is a little skewed in what you see, and Idaho is actually one of the safest states in the entire country. The issue is in the suicides, and that's an entirely other conversation for another day. Now, when you are in Idaho or you live in Idaho, you will get to experience how safe it is here. It is one of the safest places in the country, and I can tell you all I want on the statistics and how safe it is here, but once you live here, it is a breath of fresh air. Talking to people that move here, they will tell you that, and in the odd event that something happens where you do have to protect yourself, we have self-defense laws in place that legally allow you to use deadly force to protect yourself here through the stand your ground law. That doesn't mean you can just use it for any reason. It does have to be when you are under a grave threat. Someone breaks into your house with a weapon, tries to break into your car while you're in it, but it's nice knowing that you have the ability to protect yourself and not be charged for murder. And I'm not a lawyer.
I can definitely tell.
This is not legal advice, but it's a good opportunity to have the overview of what it's like and what the gun laws are truly like in Idaho. Now, back to the protecting yourself and not being charged for murder. You hear of cases where someone broke into a house and someone defended themselves after the person murdered the wife, and the husband gets sent to jail for murder on top of the tragedy. In Idaho, that doesn't happen. What does happen is people walking around with a gun on their hip, practicing that constitutional carry. And if you are not used to it, there may be some uncomfortability, but you'll get used to it, especially after you meet the people here and realize how safe it is. I just had lunch with someone thinking of moving here the other day. He was visiting to see if he liked Boise, and the first thing he said is he noticed the most is just how friendly and safe he felt here, which is the case, and people love their guns. I had an old woman stop me and my wife on our walk and ask us about our beliefs in politics, and she made sure to let us know that she carries a gun. I know tons of people who hunt here and have guns in their car, or people who go shooting at the ranges or the thousands of acres of BLM land that we have after church, which takes a ton of ammo to just go shoot for fun, but people enjoy doing that. But in Idaho, you can go online, purchase ammunition, and have it shipped directly to your house without any real ID check or background check. It is much simpler here than I'm sure a lot of you are used to in the States, especially a place like California, which I know for some of you will be a whole new concept to be able to just purchase that ammunition and have it shipped right to your house pretty easy and smoothly, especially if you live in some of the smaller suburbs of Boise, which I talk about in this video here. So you should click there and watch where I go through that small town feel and why these cities are some of the best places to live in the Boise area, especially if you like the Second Amendment rights that we have.